Gordon asked me to give you 5 minutes on the South Devon Link Road, and I'm going to cover a couple of points, but if you bear with me, I'll race through the first bit, because you probably all know what the problem is, and we know why we're trying to do it, but it is useful just to sort of re-look at why we're here. But so these are the main points I'm going to talk about. What's the problem? Why do we need the scheme? What's our progress, and what, most importantly, what happens next, which will hopefully be the main part of the presentation. What's the problem? It's the classic bottleneck. The A380 is the primary access into Torbay. You've got a high-speed dual carriageway coming down to the Paignton on the A38. You've then got the single carriageway to the village, and then dual carriageways on into Torquay and along the Torbay Ring Road. So it is the classic bottleneck problem. And if you actually look, it's actually part of a phased approach that's been since the 1960s, when through Devon they've been improving the access down into Torbay. So in many respects it's not a standalone scheme, it's actually part of a long-standing programme that's been going on for some 40 years. And the same has happened in Torbay with the ring road that was constructed in 75, and then access through to Torbay with Riviera way in 1991. So it isn't a standalone scheme, it's actually part of a long-running sort of 40-year programme. And that's just a summary of what happens. 35,000 vehicles a day goes through King's Kersal, and congestion occurs through the busy times, which you probably all know about. One of the key things is the inconsistent journey times. That's probably one of the major challenges with King's Kersal. Often people say congestion isn't just about how long it takes you to get from A to B, it's about being able to actually predict that. And if it takes you 20 minutes one day and 40 minutes another day, that's probably one of the biggest effects on businesses, because you then have to allow the longer time all the time. So it's not just about how long it takes you, it's about the inconsistency, and that's one thing that King's Kersal has always suffered from. Sometimes it can be fairly easy, other times it takes 40 minutes, maybe even longer. There's other issues about the air quality and the effects of the rat running through the other local routes that have always been a key concern. Just of interest, where does the traffic come from? And from businesses, you're often interested as to where the people are coming from. About 51% of the people coming through come down the A380 from Exeter or beyond. About 44% coming in come from Newton Abbot, and about 5% come from the Sheldon side. At the other end, about 40% come along Riviera Way from the Torquay side, and about 60% come down the ring road from Hamlin Way, from either the south part of Torquay, Paignton or Brixham. And going through the King's Kersal, about 30% of those trips are actually generated from the King's Kersal. The proposals, it's a dual carriageway bypass, 2 lanes in each direction with a flyover at Paignton roundabout, and an intermediate junction at Alla, giving access to King's Kersal, Decoy and Stonycoop, and then a terminal junction at the ring road, and always easy with the plan. And I'll just talk you through that for people that may not have been involved in it or seen it before. So as you come down from Exeter on the A38, there'll be a flyover that goes over the Paignton roundabout that you'll access on the centre of the carriageway, and in many respects, if you ever look at the Paignton roundabout, you can see it was actually constructed to take that, and this was because it's been planned for so long. You'll then fly over on a single lane over Paignton, and then rejoin the existing Newton Road adjacent to Sainsbury's, and that road will be widened to 4 lanes, so 2 lanes in each direction. And that's a slip road coming off from the Paignton roundabout for the traffic coming from Newton Abbot or Sheldon, and again an exit slip road if you're coming from Torquay going towards Newton Abbot, you'll go off on the slip road. It then follows the line of the existing Newton Road up until, as a dual carriageway, up until the point in which the mainline train route to Totnes bears to your right, as if you're travelling to Torbay, and you'll see for many years there's been a number of houses that have remained closed, and that's roughly the point in which it starts to bear off the existing route of the road. At that point there'll be a slip road that takes you down into King's Kerswell, and the same if you're coming from King's Kerswell, you'll go under the new road and come back on the slip road. So a fairly large structure there. That's where it goes over the train station, the railway line, and that will be a key point of the construction and will affect the programming, because works over railway lines often lead to closures, and the railway company do try and control when we do that. It's usually done over Christmas periods or sort of particularly quiet periods. The route then goes around the back of King's Kerswell and will be what we call an urban dual carriageway, so probably have a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit, and then come into the existing handling way about 200 or 300 metres up the other side of the railway station, and then a second carriageway will be built across the railway line coming down to Kerswell Gardens, so you'll have 2 lanes going up and 2 lanes coming down, as opposed to the moment there's only one lane going up. And then again there'll be slip roads off to Torquay, and a slip road that comes down from Paignton to join the new dual carriageway. It is part of an integrated package, so as well as the benefits of removing congestion, there is the creation of a new cycle route along the existing Newton Road between Newton Abbot and Torbay, and it's also part of a package of improved train services between Torbay and Exeter, a regular 30-minute service, and the possibility of some new stations. If you look at our local transport plan, there is the hope that there will be a new station at Edginswell, and also Devon are looking at some new stations out between Exeter and Exmouth, possibly serving the airport and the new village that's being constructed there. So it is part of an integrated transport package. You may ask why. The original proposals scored poorly on the environmental aspects, and to win the money you had to score well in all areas. So to show that it's part of an integrated package, we weren't just about building roads. We wanted to give people other options and other transport choices. We had to show that we were still keen and supported public transport and wanted to invest in other areas, and that really improved the standard and the scoring across all areas. Progress towards implementation, it's been a very long journey. Excuse the pun. It was first shown as a development plan in 1951, and it was included in the Trunk Road programme in 1989, and then it was removed from the Trunk Road programme in 1996 when the existing Newton Road was detrunked and no longer part of the Highways Agency network. That was probably the point in which we lost it, because my understanding was that it was actually quite well advanced in the programme there, and you could probably say we're about 16 years late, because I don't think it was too far off at that point, but at the point in which the road got detrunked, it was removed from that programme. So it was sort of brought back in 1999, and initial public consultation was carried out in 2002 when the dual carriageway was proposed rather than 3 lanes. It was included in the regional transport programme in 2005, and a major scheme bid in 2007. And what the council and Torbay Council and Devon County Council decided to do was to press ahead with some of the key issues: the compulsory purchase orders, the side road orders, and the public inquiry, which was carried out in 2009. This is probably the main reason that it's got funding, because when the government wanted to invest in infrastructure, when they wanted to get the country building again, a lot of the schemes that were probably ahead in priority above the South Devon Link Road were actually not at such a state of readiness. They weren't ready to go and start building. So that was one of the reasons why I think in the end we were successful. And as I say, it was included in the development pool in 2011 when it was up against 45 other schemes nationally. And £630 million was available for £950 million worth of bids. So it was, I suppose you've got a 66% chance of getting the money at that point. And again, we feel we were successful because we had progressed so far. Best and final offers went in on the 9th of September 2011, and that was our final bid. and the 29th of November was the day when we received funding, or received notice that we were getting funding in the region of about £75 million. The scheme, in order to get that funding, was reduced from 120 million to 108 million, and that's through some value engineering. We simplified the flyover, we've admitted street lighting on the road, and also reduced the running strips to each side. And also, Torbay and Devon have had to increase their local contribution to improve its value for money score. We've also had to sort of write down some of the costs in initial preparation. State of readiness. Planning permissions in place. All the land drainage consents are approved and granted by the Environment Agency, and scheme orders have been published and a public inquiry held. All prior to construction planning conditions have been signed off, and naturally the licences are achieved. Tenders for design and build contract is in place, and the contractor is standing by. What happens next? This is probably the most important thing. And we do have to say that there are still a final couple of hurdles that have to be overcome. Firstly, the Secretary of State publishes their decision, and like I say, the public inquiry is being held. The Secretary of State has published their decision, has confirmed all the orders. Technically, somebody could still take that to the High Court and challenge it, and there is a standstill period at this moment in time where that can happen, but we hope that won't. In order for DFT to release the funding, they have to go through what's called a gateway review, and that's where they will challenge officers from Torbay Council and Devon County to A, ensure that we've got the money in place, B, that we are as progressed as far as we say, and we have to convince them that there has to be that we can deliver, and that the scheme can deliver what it said. But again, it has been reviewed, but that is a stage that has to go through before final release. As Gordon says, we're hoping to award the contract shortly in March or April, and the contractor is standing by. There will be some, hopefully, initial works before the summer, whereby some works need to be done in relation to cutting down trees when it's the right time to do it, or various accommodation works for some people who have land issues. And there will be design happening over the summer, because it is a design and construct contract, and the detailed design will be carried out by the contractor. So initial works on site are expected to start in the autumn, and completion will be in December 2015. Roughly 3 years, and the first 18 months will actually be mainly what we call accommodation works. In order to build the road, a large number of culverts and streams have to be dealt with, they have to be diverted, or some open streams have to be culverted, as well as a lot of works around the railway line. Also some rather large utilities, water mains, gas mains, electricity cables have to be diverted, and the early contact with the contractor is he's keen to carry out all the accommodation works first to give himself a clear run at building the road. So we would expect the first 18 months will be an awful lot of accommodation works, which sometimes is frustrating because we won't see a lot being built, but it's a case of if you get all the problems out of the way, you then ensure that you can hit it hard. And the final 18 months will be construction of the road. A lot of that will be determined by the railways, and at what point we can cross the railway. And the programme is up to the contractor. He will provide us with a detailed programme, but we expect during those 18 months it to start behind, with the earthworks behind King's Kerswell, then move to the flyover, and then the final Torbay, with the scheme completed by December 2015. Finally, what else can we do? This is going to be a major benefit for Torbay. It will reduce the travel time into Torbay, and as I say, just as importantly, it will ensure consistency of travel times and more predictability. We want to continue to improve the Western Corridor. When I say the Western Corridor, that's effectively the ring road that goes from around the back of Torbay along King's Ash through Tweenaway and on to Brixham. We've improved Tweenaway, and the final stage of Tweenaway is commencing shortly. And we have done some other improvements at the junction of Borough Road, but the intention is to carry out online improvements along that whole route. We also want to improve the Torquay route, the route into Torquay, by improving how the 4 junctions operate and work in sync, and the study is actually carrying on at the moment to see how we can improve the syncing of the four junctions that run from Lawes Bridge down to Tor Station. And finally, as Gordon says, we want to de-urbanise our gateways. The road in will be an urban dual carriageway, but when we get to Torbay, we want to de-urbanise that by possibly introducing public art on our roundabouts, better gateway signage, reducing the clutter, having wildflower planting on our embankments, and potentially introducing tree planting along the central reservation of Riviera Way, and try and improve the image as we approach the bay, and that will run alongside the project of the South Devon Link Road. That's it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much indeed, Patrick, for giving us an insight into the construction programme. Now can I ask Joe Penhaligon to come and talk to us about Parkfield. Parkfield was opened in July of this year, but you ought to be aware of the facilities that are there, both from a resident's point of view and also from a tourist point of view. It's a major development on Paignton seafront, and Joe's going to tell you all about it.
Hi, as I said earlier, my name's Jo Penhaligon. I'm one of the duty managers based down at Parkfield. Hopefully some of you have already been there, maybe come down and use some of the facilities, but I just wanted to give you a bit of oversight about what's there now and what you can come down and see. Behind the old Parkfield house down on the seafront, which I'm sure most of you know, there was 17,000 approximate square metres of waste ground, and as you can see there was some derelict greenhouses, that was an old gardening nursery. We put in a bid to produce this. This is a Parkfield Youth Centre. As you can see, it's a fabulous building. It was designed and created by young people themselves who wanted to bring the beach and the seaside into somewhere where they use frequently. So you can see a wave of the building, and then the peaks are of beach huts. As well as this, we have also produced a fantastic BMX track. When we launched in October, we put on, well, there was a regional BMX event that took place with 400 riders that came across the southwest. Along with this, brought 1,000 spectators, who then could come and use the rest of our facilities, which went from this to a fabulous skate park. All of this cost just approximately under £5 million, and what funded this was the big lottery. The bid was written and produced with young people in mind. They consulted themselves and went out to schools and consulted with other young people to find out what facilities they wanted. This is what they came back and told us they wanted. They said they would use a centre that had this. Throughout February half term, we had over 500 young people come down and sign in and use our activities, which shows it's what they wanted and they've come to use it. Inside, we have a sports hall that can also be used as a theatre. We can divide the hall in half. You can use it for sports, you can use it for basketball, football, netball, but we can also use it as a theatre, a conference space, or an exhibition space. At the end of the hall, hidden nicely away, is our fabulous climbing wall. The closest climbing walls to us are in Backfast Lee, Dart Rock, and Haven Banks. We have had some fantastic feedback about this wall, and I ask you all to come down and try it. We had a fabulous taster day for adults to come down and give it a go. We've got some fabulous feedback. It's available for anyone from the age of 7 upwards. Upstairs we also have DJ music rooms, and we also have an Apple Mac suite. Again, this is facilities that the young people asked us to provide, and we provided for them, and they are all used frequently by youth groups and also by local community groups, and also a number of other organisations that we work with. Also upstairs is a cafe. We can come down and just watch the world go by. You can see what's going on in the sports hall. You can look out over the BMX track. Throughout the week, we deliver a youth work programme. It's delivered 7 days a week. It's for 7 to 19-year-olds, up to 25 who have a disability. We are open from 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. We also run school holiday programmes, as I mentioned, as a February half-term programme where we ran sport activities, art and craft activities, DJ music workshops. The BMX track and skate park is open throughout the day and the evening for the youngsters to come down and use. We also do regular large-scale events. I mentioned the BMX event that happened on the 6th, the BMX event that happened in October. We've got another one booked in for the 6th of May, which is the Sunday of the bank holiday in May. We've also just put a bid in with the local BMX team to put on the South West Regional competition, which will be taking place in September, and we're waiting to hear if that's been successful. We're also working with a lot of other organisations. Our hall is going to be used for the Roadcroft Sleep Walk as a stopping point. We're also going to be doing some things with the Olympic Torch Weekend. We're working with a number of partnerships in the third sector of the local community. South Devon College use our facilities for a number of their courses and also use our sporting facilities that are available for them. We work with the YMCA, we've got the youth offending team involved, and we also recently been part of a job centre government pilot as a base for getting those 16 to 18 year olds which are coming benefit into work. Memberships are available for 7 to 17 year olds to come, basically £12 a year, and they can come buy the membership and they get discounted activities. You can also get discounted bus fare by producing the membership card, which from anywhere in the bay are £2 return to Parkfield. There's also a climbing wall membership, so if you wanted to come down and climb on a more regular basis, there's an adult climbing membership. All of our rooms and facilities are available for hire, but the best way for me to say is you need to come down and see it. You need to come and experience it. You need to come and see the young people down there having fun in a safe environment. If anyone has any questions, please ask at the end. If not, please come down and visit us. That's all I can say. Thank you for your time.
Joe, thank you very much for that wonderful presentation, and I hope that many of you will take up Joy's offer to see this new building. And when I went there in July, a lot of local people there, but there's also a lot of tourists there who brought their families to benefit from these facilities. Now, can I ask Tracy Kabash to tell us about the Paignton Seafront Geopark?
Thank you very much. Before I start, I am going to ask a number of people to join me at the front, and we are going to go through this quite rapidly because I think we're a bit behind schedule. There's a little row of people. You know who you are. If you could come up here and just stand next to me, that would be brilliant. They're partly coming up because this is a partnership project. It's a community-led project that's been delivered in partnership with a number of different agencies in Torbay. I'm going to make them stand at the front here because actually I know you can't see me, now I'm behind the podium, so you've at least got some people to look at. Okay, we're talking about the Paignton Geoplay Park. My name is Tracy Kabash. I support a series of community partnerships across Torbay. This is Louise Gilson here. She's our Vice Chairperson of the Paignton Town Community Partnership. We have Melanie Border, who's behind me here, who's our Geopark Coordinator, and Councillor Alison Hernandez, who's our lead member for this particular project. I'm going to very quickly describe to you the history, the process. This is about a park, but it's also about the process of how we achieve the park. I'm going to show you a very, very quick DVD of the design, and we're going to show you some up-to-date photos of where we are. And obviously we can take any questions at the end or during the break if people want to approach us. We are a kind of partnership project, I guess, to Parkfield, to what you've just seen. Our particular facility is targeted at children in Paignton and in Torbay as a whole, residents and visitors of the age of 2 to 13. And when we started this project, it was based on a consultation the Community Partnership had done back in 2008, when residents had said very clearly to us, we need a facility, a high quality, high profile facility in Torbay where we can bring a series of children of various different ages in to have fun, essentially. And that started our process of working out where we might put a park of that kind of nature and what we might do with it. We wanted it to be unique, we wanted it to be specific to Torbay and specific to Paignton. And very early on in our developments, we worked out that actually we have the enormous potential in Torbay through our geopark, our global geopark status, bestowed upon us by UNESCO because of the unique geological heritage we have in this area. It's a fabulous story, and we've got that status because of our geology and because we want to tell that story. So we decided to actually link our park to that wonderful story. Therein ensued an enormous amount of consultation where we engaged with over 100 children who came up with their ideas, some of them drawn, some of them acted out, some of them made out of plasticine, of what they wanted to do in their fun Geoplay park. And then we had a challenge around our location, where to put it. We wanted it to be high profile, and we wanted it to contribute to the economy of Torbay as well. We wanted our park to kick-start some of the regeneration, to bring footfall back into some of our central town centre areas, so that actually we weren't just providing something for residents, we were providing something for visitors, and we were providing something for free. This facility will be open and free for everyone to use every day of the year. Our location, some of you will know, became quite a sensitive issue. And because we wanted something towards the seafront area, we had to do quite a lot of formal consultation. That would have only happened, did only happen, and we were only able to deliver that through working with a lot of the volunteers in the community partnerships, who over a 6-month period engaged with over 3,000 people and asked them their opinions of where this particular facility should be. We had a formal consultation, I think, which generated around 2,000 responses, and there was also a series of Facebook activities where 3,500 residents engaged there as well. We came up with our location, which is actually outside the flagship on Paignton seafront. And it's a location which will be fabulous, I think, for businesses in that area. It will provide footfall into the central part of Paignton again. But it's also giving children somewhere wonderful, somewhere really beautiful to actually come and play. I just want to now quickly move on to the DVD to show you how we've managed to capture some of the various specific geological stories that we've got in Torbay and how that's developed into our play park. That was the plan. Then we needed to get the money. We managed to raise £450,000 from the Big Lottery Community Spaces Grant Fund, and that was matched by Torbay Council to the tune of £100,000. We took over the current site in October last year, and this is how it looks today. We've got a number of processes going on the site at the moment, and if we had time we'd be able to explain to you everything that's there, but one of the key principles for this particular development has been high quality, and this kind of type of play equipment is unique. We will be the only play facility in the world with trilobite springers, which apparently are actually genuine previous inhabitants of Torbay, as are millipedes. They're giant too, and they're actually featuring on our water feature. This particular space net is one of the largest in the country. It's representing our mountain building era, and then we have some wonderful structures that are going up that's trying to really gather the concept of when man first came and lived in Torbay and inhabited areas such as Kent's Cavern. We are opening on the 31st of March. This is our operations manager. If we can stop him playing on the kit and actually finish the building, we will be opening to everybody on the 31st of March, and our formal launch will be on the 2nd of June. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that brilliant presentation. Did I see Johnny Depp in the left-hand corner? Pat, over to you. White Rock.
You got me instead, I'm sorry, Rob. My job today is to give you a whistle-stop tour of White Rock, a substantial £100 million plus development, probably one of the biggest developments the Bay's seen for many, many years, really. And you've all read the headlines in the Herald Express, so I don't need to go through those. Absolutely fantastic location. As you can see, Southend College on one side, over here, existing business park, next to the old Nortel site that Gordon referred to earlier, next to some lovely countryside as well. Who wouldn't want to live and work there? Yes, Brixton Road's a bit congested at the moment, however, the sort of stuff that Patrick talked about earlier will help unlock all of that. So, unfortunately, the business park that was proposed some years ago never came forward and is never likely to come forward, certainly not in this market. So an alternative way forward had to be found. Just in terms of alternative ways forward, what we've tried to propose here and tried to put forward is a kind of new model for getting people engaged early in the development process, so that there aren't quite so many objections and obstacles further down the line. So in this instance, an awful lot of developer consultation was undertaken. We then decided that hadn't quite hit all the marks that we wanted it to hit, so we set up this extra engagement, a local stakeholder group that included CPRE, that included the business forum, that included the college. And we met on quite a number of occasions actually to make sure that those people understood what was happening. We ran more engagement events, and collectively that helped improve the proposal in front of us. And what you can see on the screen is a way in which people could really see that their involvement, their engagement in the process had led to improvements in what was being proposed. And at the end of the day, when we can get people like Council Protection Board in and saying this is great, this is what we want to see, that's where we should be at. So a good result there. Just in terms of employment and quality and quantity, Gordon's touched on this already, a huge amount of new employment space coming forward. We're very keen that a lot of that is delivered very early in the process, so we're continuing to negotiate with the landowner and developer to make that happen. So critical that we get that delivered up front. Gordon's talked about 1,500 new jobs, a conservative effort, estimate is around 1,000 new jobs, but I'm sure that we can get more than that. As I said, a lot of it is about quality as well. Our new green collar workers, if you like, research and development space being developed here and so on. So quality as well as quantity. There is no way that employment space could come forward without residential development. In this case, as Gordon referred to earlier, 350 new homes, some of which will be affordable, obviously. That all enables the employment space to be delivered, as I indicated just now. Those homes come alongside a mixed-use development at the front of the site, the Brixton Road end of the site, including a local centre, student accommodation, a hotel and pub that's being constructed at the moment, is quite close to completion as I understand it, sports facilities, all-weather pitch, as well as a massive amount of public open space, new woodland walks to serve the area as a whole. So really good quality development all round, we feel. And it received support of the committee this month, which is great. We now move forward to complete some quite tough negotiations on this particular site. Just very briefly in terms of future-proofing, we're already seeing developments coming forward. So Southend College putting forward what they call an energy centre. It's more about sustainable construction. The likes of you and I can walk in and understand a bit more about what our houses in the future will look like. They're training young people in sustainable buildings. which is fantastic for our future. As I said just now, green collar workers. Also, as part of the development, we're asking for a combined heat and power deed for offering combined heat and power facilities, so that every business unit, every property as part of the development is served by renewable energy. And we think that's a really good model for the way forward. And to make sure I'm nice and brief here, I'll conclude at that point. I'm happy to take any questions in the break. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Can I ask now Angela Capello and Richard Brown to come and tell you? It's going to be Richard, is it? Right, okay, and this is in connection with the Olympic update and the Rugby Festival. This is some of the work, just a small part of the work that's being done by the Events Forum.
Hi everyone, hope you're okay, hope you can all hear me. Thank you, Gordon. Just wanted to sort of get your attention really just to talk quickly about a couple of really exciting sporting events. Obviously we've all heard of the Olympics, and we're very lucky because we've got a lot of heritage regarding this particular event. Obviously it's been a long time since it's been in the UK. 1948 we held the sailing part of that event, and we're lucky because the torch came to us obviously in 1948, it came to Tor Abbey, and it's coming again this year. And in that photo there you see our councillor Robert Excels, our councillor for sport, and in the middle there is the torchbearer from 1948, Mike Adams, and our sports development officer. And because we were really lucky in our bid with LOCOG and putting in a bid for the torch relay, we've actually got 47 torchbearers in Torquay and Paignton, which is the largest in the southwest, which is really, really exciting because we're obviously going to get a lot of national press. When we announced this, we made the main sort of national news on the BBC and ITN, which is really exciting. And all of this, of course, is putting Torbay on the map, which is what obviously Gordon mentioned earlier about the events forum, and this is one part of that. And I will bore you on a couple of little statistics, and I'll be testing you later, so please pay attention. But there's 8,000 torchbearers altogether for the whole of the country. We've got 47 of them, and each of them carry the flame for 300 metres, so it doesn't sound a lot, but obviously you add up that's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles. And the Olympic flame comes to us in Cornwall, starts in Cornwall on Friday the 18th, and it's coming to us on the 20th of May. And that's the important date really for us all to take note of, because there's going to be thousands of people coming into Torbay on that weekend. The torch is supposed to come within an hour of everybody in Britain on its route. So if you think from Torbay with 47 runners, we're going to be bringing people in from all around the area, and as far as field as Exeter and Plymouth and so on. So I think there's a very good business and commercial opportunity for us on that day. We're also putting on some events of our own during that day. We've got some sports events planned for Tor Abbey Meadows to bring people together, to start people thinking about sport. And again, what Gordon mentioned earlier about sport and tourism, there's some big links there for us in the southwest that we need to take advantage of. And it's good to get people excited about it. And you know, it's probably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a lot of people. And we're pleased to hear that the Royal Yachting Association and our local schools want to be involved in this torch relay, because the schools are going to have a relay of their own between each school, and each school in Torbay will have the torch for a day and do events and discussions obviously around the torch whilst it's at each school. And with regard to the Yachting Association, we're going to take a torch from Torbay all the way to Weymouth, where the sailing events are going to be planned for the Olympics. So we're going to have our own little relay, our school relay and our sailing relay as well. And like I say, we're expecting possibly as many as 10,000 people coming to Torbay. That's how many it was last time. So we're expecting those sorts of figures. So like I say, I think it's a really good commercial opportunity for everybody. The other event that Gordon mentioned was the Rugby Festival, which is not something that we're all aware of, but it's been something we've been hosting for a number of years now. And this is an international rugby festival that brings people from right across the world to Torbay, Germany, Ireland and Jubilee, just a few countries. And this will be held at Clenham Valley. And again, from a tourism point of view, we expect maybe at least 10,000 people to be coming to watch it. And obviously we'll have our own, we'll be able to watch it ourselves. Might even be better than the Six Nations, you never know. Let's hope so. And again, there's again a very good opportunity for us there. Our work on the events forum is showing that we want to put Torbay on the map for events, and this is just the start of lots of things planned, not just for this year, but for next year. Hope that's okay. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much indeed for that lovely presentation. Now, can I ask Councillor Mark Kingscote if he'll tell us the work that we have been doing with regard to the celebration of the Jubilee this year. Angela, you joining with Mark?
Hello, I'm Mark Kingscote, one of the councillors in Shipyard in the Willows, and my fellow councillor, Alison Hernandez, recently won National Councillor of the Year, so congratulations, Angela. The Mayor asked me this year to coordinate and lead the Jubilee celebrations in Torbay. This year, the eyes of the world will be on the United Kingdom, not only because of the Olympics, but also because we celebrate the Diamond Jubilee celebrations of Her Majesty the Queen. The Queen has so far given 60 years of service and duty to the people of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. This year, on the 1st and 2nd of May, the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh will officially visit the South West. In Torbay, there will be a civic and community-led celebrations. Over the Central Jubilee weekend, from the 2nd to the 5th of June, the civic celebrations will start with the Thanksgiving service on Saturday the 2nd of June, followed by civic presentations to 50 local unsung heroes. On Monday the 4th of June, there will be a vintage car parade of 60 cars on Torbay Meadows and Paignton seafront. The fair will be on Torbay Meadows, and there will be an open-air concert and entertainment on the meadows throughout the Jubilee weekend. We will light 3 official beacons throughout Torbay, and there will be fireworks on Monday evening. On Sunday the 3rd of June, that will be the community-led events, and those will take place throughout the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth, which has been named the Big Jubilee Lunch. We all live busy lives, so we understand that some people will be able to do more than others. This should be an enjoyable and rewarding day, giving you the chance to connect with other community-minded people and celebrate 60 years of the Queen's reign. In this unique event in the history of our nation, I hope that we all can play our part and enjoy. Angela will mention something about the local heroes and how the process will take place. And then Tracy Kabash will also speak to you about the Big Jubilee lunch.
Hi. Yeah, I've been working with CVA to collate or bring a group of local unsung heroes together. That's the people of Torbay who are not recognised for the work that they do. And what will happen on Saturday the 2nd of June, they will come along to a service at St John's Church in Torquay, which is an open service, so it's a public service. It will then be followed with a lunch at here at the English Riviera Centre, or the RIG, sorry, at the historically accurate English Riviera Centre. And they will be awarded a certificate by the High Sheriff of Devon. So it's really, it's a thank you, it's a pat on the back for all those people that are not recognised for the great work they do in the community.
Okay, sorry, me again. It's party time. We have got big Jubilee lunch packs. We've got 50 of them available for any community groups that want to do an activity on the Sunday over the Jubilee. That can be anything. It's just gathering your neighbours together. It could be a street party. We've got lots of churches, lots of schools moving forward doing activities. We also have a series of neighbourhood beacons being organised as well. And really what we wanted to say, this is an initiative that was originally put together by the Eden Project, the Big Lunch Initiative. They're rolling it out even wider this year because of the Jubilee. And we're here to try and make it easy for you to have a party. So if anybody wants one of these packs, please see me at the end. Thank you.
Oh, and the Prime Minister made it absolutely clear during the royal wedding last year, and the Mayor supports this, there will be absolutely no charges for street closures or public liability insurance. So all you have to do, if you want to organise a street party in your local area community, is phone up the town hall and let them know as soon as possible.
Thank you very much to Mark and Angela and Tracy. Now can I ask Alistair Grant to tell us about the Halford's event, please?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. My name is Alistair Grant. I represent a company called Sweet Spot, who are the organisers of the Tour of Britain cycle race and also the Halford's Tour Series, which is a televised city centre circuit race series which takes place across the country each May and June since 2009. This is a revolutionary event. It's a team-based event which provides a Premier League, if you like, of the best cycling teams in the country. And we are delighted to be bringing the event to Torbay and Torquay this summer on the 5th of June as a major part of the Jubilee celebrations that we've just heard of. Our entire team, by the way, is coming down for the whole weekend, and we're very much looking forward to joining in with the celebrations. But this is an event which is at the forefront of a sport which has become one of the most successful sports in the country. It's the fastest growing sport in the country bar none at the moment. And it's an event that will be bringing Olympic athletes and world-class sport direct to the Torbay community on the 5th of June. So it's a chance for, whether you're a cycling fan or not, and if you're not, then I guarantee by the end of the evening you will be. It's a chance for everyone to come and see some of the athletes who will be representing Team GB at the London Games, and to see some of the best cyclists in the world competing on your streets, and hopefully promoting a healthy lifestyle for all, and getting some of the local community and particularly the children involved in events which will happen throughout the day. This event, the professional race, will take place at 7 o'clock in the evening. There'll be a programme of community events, schools events and so on, which will happen throughout the day to promote the sport of cycling and the bicycle as a mode of transport to all of the community, and hopefully get some of those kids engaged and excited about cycling. Perhaps one of them could be the next Bradley Wiggins, or perhaps John Tiernan-Locke, a local lad who has done so well in the last year or so riding professionally. So it provides a nationwide promotional platform. The television programme that will go out from the Halford's Tour Series event will be broadcast nationwide on ITV. We'll have hundreds of thousands of people watching that programme, and we will work with the communications department of Torbay Council to ensure that this platform that this event provides is one that ties into all of the messages we've heard today about promoting tourism, about promoting Torbay as a tourism destination. This is some of the best scenery and best landscapes for cycling in the whole country, so this event is hopefully something which will bring people, well, certainly something which will bring people into Torbay for the event. We're estimating a crowd of between 10 to 15,000 people for the evening. So it will create value to the local economy through economic impact. We had events in this series in Exeter over the years, and the estimated economic impact from those events was well in excess of £500,000. So it's providing a host of benefits, we hope, to the local economy, promoting sport and getting people engaged in an event which is totally free to attend and will bring great excitement to people who come out to watch. So these are the dates for the series. It starts up in Scotland on the 15th of May. runs across the country from places like Oxford, Peterborough, Canary Wharf in London, Torquay, of course, on the 5th of June, in half term and on the bank holiday. So we are by far expecting our biggest crowd of the series to be in Torquay and Torbay on the 5th of June. We finish up in Stoke-on-Trent, a cycling city in the West Midlands. As I said, there's a daily terrestrial television coverage on ITV. We're also working with our partners at ITV Global to sell in the programmes internationally. So again, promoting tourism to this beautiful area in Torbay. A 1-hour programme which will go out from the event, which will reach at least 400,000 viewers nationwide. And as we said, bringing elite cycling to the people and hopefully inspiring a new generation of cycling fans and cyclists. One of the reasons we're here today to talk about this is to also promote the sponsorship opportunities that there are within this event, which will allow businesses in Torquay to connect with spectators and TV viewers of the event. It's also very important for us and for Torbay Council that local businesses get involved, because we want this to be a sustainable event that comes back to Torbay every year. We're also working towards perhaps a more long-term plan. We'd love to bring the Tour of Britain cycle race, which is Britain's major international cycling event, to Torbay going forward as well. So over the next couple of pages, I'll just very briefly run through some of the sponsorship opportunities that are available through this event. If anybody has any questions, please do find either myself or Angela to talk about these afterwards. We would genuinely love local businesses to get involved. There is an opportunity for one business to become the key brand associated with the event, so the presenting partner or gold sponsor, 2 silver sponsors, and then a range of bronze sponsorship packages below that. All of these positions and all of these opportunities will allow your business to connect with a national audience through advertising at the event. It will allow you to engage with your clients, your customers, important people in your world through hospitality opportunities at the event as well. The key partner and the gold partner will have their brand associated with everything that we do to promote the event in Torbay and around the region. We'll be working with our partners at Devon County Council to ensure that the event is promoted not just around the area but across the whole region. And we've also a significant PR campaign which is kick-starting with the announcement of this event in Torbay very shortly. So further detail on all of the opportunities, as I said, is available. We have some printed copies of this presentation, and we're keen to talk to you about how your business could get involved, whether that's on a big level or a small level. We're really keen for local businesses to get involved, for people to engage with this event, and as I said, to create a sustainable event which will come back to Torbay every year and create a real legacy from the event. So there are a range of opportunities through sponsorship of the event, but also through being promoted with the event throughout the process between now and June. Some of the examples at the bottom, so advertising on the Torbay Council website, plasma screens around the area, recognition in our local media supplements which we'll be organising, window displays in local shops and so on. But a really powerful package there which hopefully one local business will take up and really engage with this event. In terms of the silver sponsorship position, again there are sponsorship rights on the day itself, so your advertising boards at the start and finish in front of the television cameras, advertising in our official programme which will be sold across the country, places in hospitality to engage again with your clients and staff, and again local rights and associations throughout the promotional campaign which will begin very shortly and run all the way through to the 5th of June. This is an event which will bring people into Torbay from all across the region and beyond. We have extensive crowds and do extensive consultation with people at the event, and we've found over the years that people have travelled from far and wide to come and watch these events. So it's a nationwide event which will be bringing people into the town from far and wide. So in terms of our bronze sponsors, again, there are opportunities for advertising at the event and being promoted with the event throughout the ongoing promotional campaign. But we're really keen that the local businesses embrace this event, that the local people, as I'm sure they will, embrace this event, and we're very much looking forward to working with Torbay Council from here.
So thank you very much indeed for that presentation. Are the Daily Telegraph one of your sponsors?
They are.
They're your media partners. Okay, thank you.
Well, sorry, I was just going to say, if anybody does want to take away some information, then I've got some packs with me. Please follow me afterwards.
I also have some packs of information for anybody who wants to be involved in the sponsorship and support of the event. And the Daily Telegraph are your media partners. Thank you very much indeed. The next thing is the national TV campaign, which I did mention to you very briefly in my introduction. It is one of the election promises to market Torbay from a tourist point of view and inward investment. Inward investment programme will be presented to you in due course, but on the 15th of March is the launch of the marketing campaign here at the Riviera Centre, when the tourism company and the tourist attractions are here for a major event. And the details of that and the launch of that will be on that occasion. So hopefully those of you that are able to come and attend that event, you'll see the film that's being produced, the changes that have been made to the film with the different soundtracks and so on to promote Torbay. The intention is to do that in the most popular area for visitors to the Bay, which is the Midlands area of Torbay, of this country, and that will be based on the month of March and a very big hitting campaign. So can I now ask Chris Hart, who's chairman of the company, our tourism company. Chris, thank you much for coming today. Delighted to see you. And Holly, I think it's going to help you. What we're trying to do now is to show you on the website of the tourism company how the events forum fits in to the programme of promoting tourism and the events here in the Bay. And Chris and Holly are going to explain that too. Chris, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Gordon. Holly, Holly's stand there. You will be pleased to hear I'm going to be very brief before I hand over to Holly. I'd just like to thank Gordon for the opportunity to demonstrate the ERTC events calendar to you today. We're pleased to be supporting and working with the Mayor in terms of the events forum. The promotion of events and festivals is one of the attack grounds of the English Riviera Tourism Company, so it's a key part of what we do. We don't have time, unfortunately, today to give you any more of an update in terms of the work of the company. So can I just echo Gordon's comments just now in terms of encouraging any of you who would like to do so to come along to the industry update event, which is taking place here on the 15th of March. And now I'm going to hand over to Holly Hollis, who is a marketing executive with the company, who's going to demonstrate the events calendar.
Thank you, Grace. Hi, everybody. Just wanted to run through today. Obviously, we've been hearing about some fantastic events today that are happening this year, 2012. I'm not going to touch on every way in which we help promote those through the company. I'm going to talk very much today about the website, but there's a list here of just some of the ways in which we promote events and festivals throughout the year. Well, in November we launched a fantastic new website, which was a huge undertaking. It cost over £50,000, so it was our biggest project last year, but it really needed to be done. And in addition to that website, we invested quite a lot in our visibility in Google. So what we did was we invested in search engine optimization in order to be able to get our website at the top of Google rankings. Now this was done on Monday when I put the presentation together. We now obviously sit at the very top in terms of a key search term of talking what's on. So that means that anyone who's looking for what's going on in the area will actually come to our website first. So what do they get when they hit our website? Well, obviously, what's on is features in what we call our mega navigation, which is a marketing term. But it basically is along the top there, you'll see the various things to do, places to visit, and what's on is up there. Now, if someone hovers over that, they automatically get a drop down. And what we've done is we've put our top events along that drop down. Things that people have looked for, particularly in the past, are popular events. So that gives people the opportunity to, if they're looking directly for Agatha Christie Festival, they can click and that will take them directly to that record. In addition to that, you'll see further down on the right-hand side, sorry, getting my right and left confused. On the right-hand side, you'll see that there's an events festival's calendar, Easter events, and so on. And I'll talk on those a bit more in due course. So you can reach this page basically either by clicking directly onto what's on, or on the previous slide, clicking on the what's on calendar. Now, there are two ways in which people can access events information. In the past, our website was very much done through a rather long-winded search. Now we have two options. You can either do the search by dates from and to. So people are obviously looking at a whole week's worth of things. If they're looking at a specific week for a holiday, they can bring up events for all of that week. Or if they're looking at specific days, they can use this, what we call the What's On calendar, which is a new and fantastic piece of functionality for our website, which we haven't had before. And you'll see from the screen grab I've got here, I clicked on the 29th of February, which is today's date, and on the right-hand side again, you'll see that there's a list of all of the events that are taking place on that 29th. So again, it's giving the customer that information directly. If there's anything they like, they can scroll through and they can click on the events to find out more. I mentioned 2 slides ago again about the fact that we can now theme events. So we know for a fact that people are looking for Easter bookings at the moment, Easter breaks. So by grouping a series of events together under Easter events, it means that people who are looking for things to do over Easter can click on Easter events, and all the events that are taking place throughout the Easter break will then appear on that search term. So again, it's like a fantastic opportunity to get the information to people that they want straight away. Now this is basically what happens when someone clicks on one of the previous links. It comes up with all the information on the event itself. So you see there's an overview, which is a description of what the event is. There's facilities, so that gives an example of the things that are there, and then directions where there's a map, so it will show where the venue is or where the event's taking place. You'll also see all the contact information up at the top there, so basically who's putting on the event and the contact details. Also, if there's an email or a web address that links directly into that information, so people can ring, email to find out more just at the click of a button. Also, in the top left, you'll see that we've integrated our social media. So it now means that people, if they see an event they like, they can like it or tweet it via Facebook and Twitter. So obviously we're reaching an extra potential audience who might not have visited the site but see it because their friends have liked it on Facebook and find out more information as a result. And again, that's something that we've only really done with this new website. So it's a fantastic tool. This is the What's Nearby feature. Again, this is another event record for Fish Stock this year, which is again one of our big events. And this came as a result of the Turning the Tide for Tourism strategy. We found that one of the key objectives was, although we wanted to increase visitors, it was just as important to increase the value of the visitor. So what we're doing with this What's Nearby feature now is that if someone clicks on, because they're interested in the Fish Stock Festival, a whole heap of other things appear in the What's Nearby, accommodation, attractions, food and drink, to give people ideas of what else they can do while they're attending that Fish Stock Festival. So, for example, there's the Brixton Buccaneers, the Artist's Corner, all things that happen within the destination of the festival. And that, again, is another functionality which we've built into this new site. This is just to demonstrate that there is another way in which people can search for events. If they don't necessarily know what time of year they're coming, they've got a rough idea, but they don't really know the dates, they can type in keywords and events will come up as a result of those keywords. So here I typed in maritime, and 33 events have now come up under maritime throughout the year. So people who are obviously interested in sailing events will be able to scroll through, see events that they're particularly interested in, find out when those dates are and book as a result. So it's just another way of getting people the information without, you know, when they might not necessarily know when they want to come. I mean, that's just a very brief talk about the website. I would just like to highlight that we've done our first ever English Riviera app, which is available on the App Store, and that feeds in directly from the English Riviera. So you can basically you can download the app, go in, find out what's happening today, and the information is at your fingertips. We're having an Android version done very soon as well. There's a dedicated events and festival section on that, and it's another way of making sure that people are getting that information about events. Obviously, I appreciate that not everybody knows what an app is or uses the website particularly, so we still produce our events leaflet. We signed that off last week, so that is due imminently. That will be distributed through Devon, through Westwood Marketing. We also obviously distribute them through our visitor information centres as well. And they'll be available to pick up on the event that's mentioned on the 15th of March. And just finally, I just wanted to highlight our visitor information, because obviously the company is focused very much on tourism marketing, but it also manages our visitor information service. And that is a massive, obviously, promotional tool for the English Riviera as a whole, but also events. So we have our visitor information centres, as you know, in Torquay and then Paignton and Brixton on a seasonal basis. We offer ticket sales commission-free, which is something that Carolyn took the decision to do when she came into post. Previous to that, it had been a 10% commission charge. And we are about to launch for Easter our new online ticket facility. So we actually do online accommodation booking on our website now, and we'll be doing the same for events as well. So that means that people can go onto the website, book their accommodation, book their events, and basically plan their entire holiday at the click of a few buttons. So that's just a very brief overview from me today. If anyone wants to have a chat to me or talk through or have feedback on anything I've said, I'm kind of around for the rest of the event. So come and see me. Alternatively, get in touch. It'd be great to see you, and hopefully see you on the 15th. Thank you.
Holly, thank you very much indeed for that presentation. And if there are anniversaries you want to celebrate, let us know about them. For example, this year is the 60th anniversary of the Rotary Club of Brixton. So there are celebrations that we should learn about there. And having visited Fish Stock last year, it's a brilliant event in Brixton. And you've now got an opportunity, you know where you can latch on to the technology and learn where all these events are taking place, and it's important that you should be aware of them, whether you are a resident or a visitor. We want to get the message across that there is a huge amount of life and activity here in the Bay that you should be aware of. Can I, before we start questions, thank Sean, Angela and Eleanor for putting on today's event, and can I thank all the officers for their support and their presentations to you. There are many members of the business community here today. Can I also welcome John Richards, who's on the front row here, as Chairman of the Torbay Development Agency. Good to see you, John. For those that may want to have a chat with John, he's here today, and thank you for coming to this presentation. I'm going to thank you all for coming to listen to some of the ideas and thoughts of what we're trying to do for the benefit of you, the residents and people of Torbay.
You ain't going nowhere. You're just